We now invite you to watch part 1 of the prayer gathering entitled Spiritual Strength in Crisis Through Interfaith Unity with Supreme Master Ching, vegan, and other leaders of different faiths in Laguna Beach, California, USA on November 6, 1993, where community leaders of Laguna Beach, including Mayor Lita Lenny, Captain of the Fire Department Bob Scruggs, and Reverend David Beatles from the United Methodist Church, share some touching words on thankfulness and community spirit in the aftermath of the devastating wildfires.
Laguna has been my home for the past 20 years, and I have a very deep love for this city, and I'm sure that all of you share that love with me. We've all come together today in a spirit of community to offer prayers to our Creator of gratitude and thanks. And not only are we offering our gratitude and our love to our Creator, but we're also sharing our love and our sense of community with one another. And we want to ask our Creator for healing for this beautiful city. We're honored to have some speakers here from all walks of life who will participate in this new beginning. So please join me now in welcoming Thomas Onewolf, who will open the day with a blessing for all the relations. Thank you, Thomas. And now I'd like to introduce the Mayor of Laguna Beach, the Honorable Lita Lenny.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here with spiritual leaders from every walk of life who will help us connect with the forces that are bigger and greater than we are in a way that will help us to understand and help us heal. I want to tell you this morning about the things that I, as the mayor of the city, am grateful for. I am first of all thankful that no one died in this great Laguna fire. and that among the brave firefighters who worked so hard and put their lives on the line, there were 6 minor injuries. That's a miracle. I'm thankful that the city, fire, and police people were able to evacuate safely more than 16,000 people from this community. And I am grateful to the residents who worked with courage and who followed directions in such a way that enabled that to happen. I am grateful to the firefighters who came from all over California, as far away as Kern County and Beverly Hills, to defend our homes and community as if they were their own. I am grateful they were able to hold the line at Temple Hills at great risk to themselves. I'm grateful that downtown was spared, contrary to news reports, so that City Hall was able to function, and the downtown is here intact, where we can come and have some sense of community and normalcy. I am grateful for the response of federal and state government that allowed us to open a federal emergency management agency center for disaster relief 2.5 days after the fire. I am grateful for the city staff who carried on despite their own personal losses. Our city manager, Ken Frank, lost his home, and our deputy city manager, Cindy King, lost her home. I am grateful for the Red Cross and for all the assistance that they were able to give our disaster victims. I am very, very grateful to the Presbyterian Church for agreeing to coordinate the volunteer efforts in this community, to put together the people who had goods and services and money to give with those who were in need. And I am grateful for the support that they received from the whole rest of the community, which has really, truly been overwhelming. I am thankful for the support of the merchants in town. My daughter-in-law tells me that when she went shopping for a few basic necessities and got to the counter, she was told to tear up the bill, and she did. I am thankful for a man by the name of David Horn, who is spearheading the Mystic Hills homeowners rebuilding effort, and whose goal is to have everybody up there in their homes by next Labor Day. I thank you for coming together today as a community, because there is much healing that needs to be done in this community. In the face of a disaster like this, it's a normal progression to go from disbelief to anger and frustration to depression and anxiety before the healing comes. And I know that this community, working together, can accomplish that task as well as anybody in the world could do it. And I thank you for beginning here today.
Thank you, Mayor. And now I'd like to introduce the captain of the fire department, Captain Bob Scruggs.
Thank you very much. I hope that you're applauding for yourselves, because as the fire department here, we were undermanned, and we really relied on the generosity of the volunteers and the businessmen in the area and the people that came from all over the state. So that applause is really for yourselves. And I'm going to keep this real short. We really appreciate the people of Laguna Beach, and it was great. After the fire, all the people that have come by to give us either food or send us cards, all the schools who had their classes put together, thank you notes. Every one of them was read and received, and they're on display at Station 1. If you guys would like to come by and read what the kids wrote, it's really lifted up our hearts. I was just talking to a group of people back there who, ex-firemen who came into town, and made a stand up on Y Place using some equipment that they had borrowed from the station. Thank God they returned it. And this is exactly that applause that you did. All this is basically thanks to yourselves for being such great people in the city of Laguna Beach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain. The police chief was due to be here today, but he's been called away, and so I just want to thank him and the police department for all the hard and brave work that they offered us during this crisis. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce to you Reverend David Beatles of the United Methodist Church.
Representing just one little branch of the Christian Protestant Church, I'm amazed, as all of us are, of the miracle of unity that has happened here. We know that in any kind of natural disaster, the one that has happened in Laguna Beach does not single out people. It simply takes on all of us, whether we be Christian, whether we be Jewish, whether we be Muslim or Buddhist, whatever our faith might be. It doesn't single us out whether we be good or bad. It doesn't single us out by the color of our skin. It doesn't single us out whether we're Republicans or Democrats or Libertarians or whatever. It doesn't single us out. It treats us the same. And it reminds us that we have a God who treats us the same. A God who doesn't see us by who we are, how we look, but a God who accepts us, each one of us, every one of us, accepts us and loves us and helps each one of us work through these kinds of disaster, helps us individually, but more than that, brings us together like this, to realize and to recognize that we are one, that we are all the people of God. And we come together this morning to thank God for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Beatles. Now I'd like to introduce to you Supreme Master Ching.
I look strange to you, but I'm no stranger. Our organization has shared with you all the sorrows and fears these days by whatever way we could, as well as the flood relief in the Midwest recently. And our disciples have tried to put together several hundreds of thousands of dollars in our small capacity to buy toys for the children and some kinds of toiletry for your urgent need. I hope that will symbolize our sympathy and love for the people who are in unfortunate circumstances, even though it's not much. I once had an office, also my little house. It was only a small wooden house, but it was demolished due to circumstances, and I have ordered to be demolished myself. I had that house only for 2 or 3 years. I slept in that house and I worked in that house, and we had some kind of small parties or tea time sometimes in that house. And even then I had it demolished myself. But whenever I passed by that house, I felt a kind of nostalgia. And I felt sad, even though a spiritual person I am. I still feel very sad. I remember all the laughter and the tears and the beautiful as well as the sorrowful moments which were housed inside these 4 wooden walls. And it makes me shed tears sometimes. So I could understand how you feel when some of you have lived all your life in these beautiful mansions. I don't know if my presence makes any difference to you, if my prayer will be helpful to you. But since I'm here, I come just to show you that I do understand. I come just to be with you, even though I'm also helpless. Just to do my part. It doesn't matter whether you accept my presence or my presence makes any difference to you. Still, I'm here, and our disciples are always there. If you need a space or you need manpower, anything to rebuild your house, we will always be there for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Master Ching Hai. Now I'd like to introduce to you Father Colin of the Episcopal Church in Laguna Beach.
Good morning. I'm a newcomer to this town, relatively speaking. I've only been here for 7 or 8 years, and many people here have been here much longer than that. Although I know there are also visitors who are here this morning to share this occasion with us, and we're grateful to them. But I love this city, and I love the people who live here and the community that we have, and I know that we're enormously privileged to have these things. And I want to echo all the thanks that have been given so eloquently by our mayor and the other speakers this morning. And because I don't want to be too repetitive, just to share this thought with you and try and put things as simply as I can. When I'm praying, I try and get it down to a few simple words. And the words that came to me this morning was, I'm thankful to be here with you all. And I start with those words and the spirit of being thankful, and our mayor has mentioned many things to be thankful for. To be here, this particular place, to breathe deeply and feel the space, the ocean, the hills around us, scarred but still magnificent. To be here with you, the people you came with, who you knew were going to be here. To be here with you all, the unexpected people, and to reach out spiritually to those people and embrace them, to be one, and in that way to reach out beyond the few people collected here, this tiny corner of the coast of California, to the Creator who gave us this wonderful place to live, to the one who not only has given us this opportunity, but also restores and heals, and to the one who sustains. If it's any help to you, say those words slowly, silently to yourself, or say better words. I'm sure you can think of better ones. I'm thankful to be here with you all.
Thank you, Father Colin. I now have a letter to read from the representative of the Jewish community who wasn't able to be here today. And it says, "To all participants present today, I was both warmed and delighted to hear about the gathering to take place on Saturday, November 6th. It is very uplifting when a community unites together in support of others, especially during a time of crisis. On behalf of Shabbat of Laguna and the Jewish community of Laguna Beach, we are committed with you today in this wonderful atmosphere of hope and thankfulness. Although due to the religious observance of Sabbath, we cannot physically be here at this time, please know that we are with you in spirit. May the merciful God grant strength, peace, and joy to the unfortunate victims of the fire, and together we can and will rebuild our lives, home, and city. Best wishes for a successful event. Rabbi Elimelech Gorovich, Shabbat of Laguna Beach." Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce to you Bada Haridas, the president of the Laguna Beach Hare Krishna Temple.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for inviting us to come today. I was just thinking that when we saw these hills all flaming and the flames coming down the hill, that one realization that comes immediately is that everything that we have in this life that we've worked for can be taken away at any moment. And these are kinds of lessons for us. Fortunately, none of us lost our lives. But these are lessons for us to look and see what's really important in life and what is actually lasting. And there's no use really blaming anyone in these times of loss, but rather we should try to learn, because each one of us, sooner or later, is going to have everything taken away. So at that time, when everything else is gone, the only thing we have left is whatever love for God we have. If we only have affection for the things of this world, then we will certainly be very confused and frustrated and fearful. But if we actually have love for God, then that love will carry us to Him and will enable us to cross over all of the upheavals of this life. So we understand that God is one, so religion must also be one, and that is to love God. So as we rebuild this community and as we work together, there's so many things which we have to do, and there's so many ways that we have to work together, and so many material necessities that we have to take care of, and that we have to do. And that also creates a sense of community. But I would hope that in our working together, that the core of that working together could be to help each of us develop genuine love and faith in God. And in this way, our sense of community can be actually successful because we will help each other gain something which can never be taken away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bada Haridas. Now I'd like to introduce to you Father Bill Preckelberg of St. Catherine's Catholic Church.
A week ago, Wednesday night, like many of you, I was rushing out of my home and packing up the car, putting in everything I could possibly think of that we needed to have to start over again. And a police car pulled up right outside the house, and the man was shouting at me saying, get out now, you are in imminent danger. This is a police emergency and a police order." And I said, I've got just a couple more things and I'm on my way out. But the phone was ringing in the house. And I went in and answered the phone, and there's this nice young lady who wanted to set up a wedding. And I thought, well, if we're still here, you can have your wedding. It would be wonderful. And there was a sense of new life going on no matter what, and everyone having their own agenda. And I said, please call us back the day after tomorrow, and also turn on your television set right now. Well, I'm deeply pleased, and I know not all of you can say that, but I am deeply pleased and thankful to God that we are still here, as is most of Laguna. And I do, on behalf of the whole parish of St. Catherine of Siena here in Laguna, want to thank our fire services and police services and utility services who work so hard, and all the volunteers in the community, people who had no official capacity whatsoever, but were out there helping one another and doing so much, sometimes risking their own lives to do that. I came to Laguna Beach just 2 years ago, and like all of you, I have been deeply impressed by what a beautiful place this is. It truly is a blessed place on the planet, a wonderful and beautiful place to live. But never in my entire life have I seen anything so beautiful as the wonderful, spontaneous, generous, and quick outpouring of love from so many people in the community who volunteered their services, their homes, their clothing, their food, their money to help those who are victims of this fire. And that will always stay with me as the most beautiful thing that I have ever witnessed here in Laguna Beach, this beautiful place in the world. I also want to make another statement. It is my prayer that this beauty will continue. I've been disturbed, actually, just recently, watching the events in the community here, and I'm afraid that there might be an ugliness appearing after all of this. Some of you probably saw in the newspaper the other day the headline saying, praise for firemen, and I guess tremendous opposition, anger against the politicians. And that bothers me very, very much, because the fire raged through here and the main damage was done within 24 hours. It was so quick and so disastrous to so many. And the love has continued to pour out from people who are willing to help. But we must not make our community an angry place and an ugly place. Our elected officials and the people who serve us in government are the ones who have to deal directly with all of these problems. And they have so many different viewpoints and so many opinions and so many concerns to have to weigh in the balance. And I believe that they are good and honorable and loving people, just as generous as all the firemen and policemen and all the volunteers, giving the very best of their heart, the best they know how. And they need our support. And they need us to work with them. And so my prayer today with all of you is one of great, great thanksgiving to God, because I do believe from this disaster many beautiful things will come for individual peoples and for our whole community. But I pray that we have courtesy and respect and patience and tolerance. These are the things that will make our community beautiful from within ourselves and from without for a long time to come. This is God's grace to us, and we are thankful for it.
Thank you, Father Kreckelberg. Now I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Tari Lennon of the Neighborhood Congregational Church.
Good morning. I represent a little different readout on what has happened to us here in this last week, and a concern that I don't want us to ignore or overlook today, namely the concerns and reality of children. Children get affected every bit as intensely as adults do, and they don't have all the resources that we do to help them deal with what they're dealing with. So, in deference to the children, I want to ask all of our children who are willing to come up here because I need you to help me. We're going to do a little antiphon. Do you know what an antiphon is? I know Father Krekel knows what an antiphonal is. Do you know what a dialogue is? You know what chanting is? Well, we're going to do a little of that, but I need the children to help me. Let's have all the children who can come right up here because I need you. I need you bad. Let's get them all up here. I need more and more and more. Isn't this great? Aren't you glad to be here? Yes?
Yes.
Why are you glad to be here?
That's how I see all the, great people and all.
The great people. We're great people. Did you hear that? This child thinks we're great people. Aren't you glad you came? Just to hear how great you are. All right. Now, we're going to do a little chanting. We're going to be a chorus. And you only have 2 words you have to say. Okay? Anybody have a straw? Anybody have a straw here? I need a straw. Here's a straw. What do we use straws for? For drinking, for having our thirst quenched. Okay, come closer, closer. We need to get close together here on this. Right. Come on. Sir, gray shirt, come closer. Over here. Every time I point to you with this straw, you're going to say, choose life. Let me hear you. One more time.
Choose life.
Again.
Choose life.
Again.
Choose life.
All right, now I'm going to say some things, and every time I point to you, you're going to say,
choose life.
We are here.
Choose life.
We are not saints.
Choose life.
We are not sinners. We will not suddenly walk on water.
Choose life.
We will not suddenly be saved.
Choose life.
This fire does not alter the basic nature of us.
Choose life.
We will go on being who we are. However,
Choose life.
we are being given an opportunity to learn some things.
Choose life.
Diversity is not about political correctness.
Choose life.
It's about the reality of life.
Choose life.
Laguna Beach is not an avant-garde place for dilettantes and looky-loos.
Choose life.
It's a place where real people who regard individuality and creativity come to live.
Choose life.
We're going to rebuild that dream here.
Choose life.
We're not going to be co-opted by special interests.
Choose life.
We're not going to be divided by naysayers, criticizers, fault finders, second guessers.
Choose life.
We're going to listen to the truth that's at the heart of all of us.
Choose life.
Said by one of our children,
Choose life.
we're great.
Choose life.
We're all great. We've always been great. We will continue to be great.
Choose life.
And we will make this city great again.
Choose life.
Do you believe that? And the people all said, again, hallelujah, thank you.
Choose life.
All right. Get candy.
Get your clothes. Get your clothes out. Get your clothes. I'll take my hands. Open your food. Open your food. Yeah, come on. Thank you.
Get on it. Come on.
Thank you, Dr. Terry Lennon.
You made that day, huh?
Yes, she made the Children's Day. Yay.
No, you're close.
Whoa. Pick up the candy. I don't know.
Thank you, Dr. Terry. And now I'd like to introduce to you Arvid Mortensen of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as the Mormons.
It's my pleasure to be with you here today. As we meet in this beautiful setting, we're reminded again of one of the reasons to live in Southern California. I, with you, have enjoyed this beach. I, with you, have enjoyed Heiser Park. I, with you, have enjoyed PCH, Divers Cove, and the vistas from the various points in Laguna. And recently, I, with you, these past several days, have found other reasons to enjoy being together as we have united our efforts as a community to help make this community and to continue to make this community both great and good. As we've worked together and as we've shared our talents, our resources, and our energy to try to meet the many needs that were created by the fire, it's been wonderful to see so much good come from so many people. Over the past few years, some of us have had some reasons to become concerned about the eroding values of decency and goodwill as we've read the newspapers, as we watched television, and we've seen people behaving in ways that were insensitive and unkind. As we've worked through a severe economic decline in Southern California, some of us have noted a loss of the mellowness that we as an area of the country have been noted for in times past. But as we work together these past several days, in so many ways, providing food, and clothing, and shelter and comfort, in recognizing the valiant efforts of excellence of our firefighters and police and other officials, in so many extending themselves in countless acts of service to others, we can be encouraged and uplifted by the genuine, friendly, heartfelt, unselfish acts of our community. Indeed, for many, our faith in the innate goodness of each other is rekindled and made more bright. In approximately the year 124 BC, a great king gave a farewell address to his people as he ended his period of sovereignty. Among other things, this king, whose name is recorded as Benjamin, said these words to his people after reminding them that he had worked with them with his own hands in earning his livelihood while also serving them as their king. He said, I tell you these things that ye may learn wisdom, that ye may learn that when ye are in the service of your fellow beings, ye are in the service of your God. As members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as Mormons, we believe that that concept expressed by King Benjamin, when ye are in the service of your fellow beings, ye are in the service of your God, applies to all of us as members of the human family. This concept goes beyond any religious distinctions or beliefs. It is central to all of us in our interactions with each other. We have seen this kind of humble, heartfelt, unselfish service as we have united as a community to meet the challenges raised by the fire. An old Hindu proverb says, help thy brother's boat across, and lo, thine own has reached the shore. And Cicero said, kindness is produced by kindness. We've done much. We have much left to do. But through service, help to each other, and kindness, we can do together what is impossible or difficult for one to do alone. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce to you Ruth Norman of the First Church of Christ Scientist.
Good morning. Today is a wonderful day. And after hearing all these marvelous talks, it's a privilege to add my message from the Christian Science Church. Laguna Beach is being reborn, a fresh start through the grace of God, and we're here to rejoice in this new birth of our town. How inspiring it is for all of us to join together in gratitude, hope, thanksgiving, and love for this community. This love comes from God, and it unites us all and impels good work. Christian Scientists love this village. Our religion is based on love, and we strive to follow Christ Jesus' admonitions to love one another. Christian Science teaches that God is love, and as ye would that men should do unto you, do ye unto them. If we aren't living love, we aren't really living. This gathering is just one example of living love in this community. Our church members are praying daily along with all of you for the restoration of Laguna Beach. The Bible states in Joel, "And I will restore unto you the years that the locusts have eaten." We know that this restorative work has already begun and will continue until all is rebuilt better than before. Our members are working along with the rest of the community to solve the problems facing Laguna Beach in an intelligent, harmonious, loving way. Love is the cement that enables the community to stick together. We are all united in our love for God and our fellow man. I thank the Stones and the West Eagle organization for getting us all together on this special day of Thanksgiving. I would like to close with a daily prayer from the Christian Science Church Manual, and which Christian Scientists pray each day. Thy kingdom come. Let the reign of divine truth, life, and love be established in us, and rule out of us all sin. And may thy word enrich the affections of all mankind and govern them. And from Psalms in the Bible, it is a good thing to give thanks unto our Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth Norman. Now I'd like to introduce Jenna Russell of the Southern California Centers for Attitudinal Healing.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be here. I've had the privilege for 3.5 years of working here in this community. I do a healing group at Laguna Shanti. Thank you. With my co-facilitator, Jean Kate, who is the woman over here tending the sage. I also live here in Laguna Beach. That's a very recent thing, and I'm privileged to be here. Over the last week, I've seen some remarkable, wonderful people do some wonderful things for one another. I've seen people risk their lives. I've seen people open their homes and their hearts. I've seen people give away things of great value. But most of all, I've seen great, great healing in this community. One of the principles of attitudinal healing is that we can become love finders rather than fault finders. And I believe that's true. I believe that's true here in Laguna Beach and everywhere. I brought with me today some things that are healing things for me that I'd like to share with you. These are favorite readings of mine. This is a prayer for the healing of the earth. We join with the earth and each other to bring new life to the land, to restore the waters, to refresh the air. We join with the earth and with each other to renew the forests, to care for the plants, to protect the creatures. We join with the earth and with each other to celebrate the seas, to rejoice in the sunlight, to sing the songs of the stars. We join with the earth and with each other to recreate the human community, to promote justice and peace, to remember our children. We join with the earth and with each other. We join together as many and diverse expressions of one loving mystery for the healing of the earth and the renewal of life. That's from the United Nations Environmental Sabbath Program. Melody Beattie, in her book, says the healing energy of God, the universe, life, and recovery surrounds us. It is available, waiting for us to draw on it, waiting for us to draw it in. It's waiting at our meetings and at our groups, on the words of a whispered prayer, in a gentle touch, a positive word, a positive thought. Healing energy is in the sun, the wind, the rain, in all that is good. Let yourself be healed, that you may be forgiving, offering salvation to your brother and yourself. Your healing saves him pain, as well as you. And you are healed because you wish him healed. Thank you for having me here, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Jenna Russell. Now I'd like to introduce Steve Sadlier of the Self-Awareness Institute.
Howdy. If there's a silver lining to this ashen gray cloud that has hung over our city for a week now, it's been that it's all brought us together. Together as a community and together in a spiritual sense. You know, no matter what religion you belong to, or even if you belong to a religion, if you're part of a spiritual path, metaphysician, or perhaps an agnostic or atheist, I think each of us has to recognize there's something greater than our individual self that is providing for our own existence and for the existence of everything in existence. That is making the trees grow, provides life to animals, including the human being. There's some force greater than our individual self making our own existence possible, making your cells regenerate. You don't have to think about how your cells regenerate. You don't have to think about how your heart beats or how your mind works. It works because there's something greater than us individually allowing it to work. There's something guiding us each day in every way. Our whole life is always being guided, whether you call it spirit or God or consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it's there. And sometimes when there's a a catastrophe, that there's some upheaval in our life, such as a fire, we forget that. We get so caught up in what we've got to do and in worrying that a lot of times we get out of balance. We get out of touch with ourselves. And that's the time we really need to get in touch with ourselves the most, and to get in touch with that guiding influence that is already there. As this is such a time, I'd like just to take a minute or two for us to acknowledge that divine presence within us, regardless of what religion or path that you belong to. I'd like us to take a moment and just think about and acknowledge that indwelling spirit. And in a moment of meditation, in a moment of silence, just acknowledge that which is greater in our individual self and ask it to guide us through these troubling times. Can you close your eyes for just a moment? Take a deep breath in through the nose. Draw that energy into your heart. Feel the presence of the divine within you, and just acknowledge it. And if you ask that which is lying within you now, that which is moving through you for help and guidance, it will. You don't have to believe me. You can prove it to yourself. Amen.
Thank you, Steve. Now I'd like to welcome Shirley Scheiber, the representative of the Course in Miracles.
I'm not used to mics. And I don't usually bring notes, but I thought if I just passed out up here out of pure sheer fear, then someone could read this. How am I doing? Have I tripped over the cord or anything yet? Okay. All right. I represent A Course in Miracles, which is, as brief as you can say, is Western Zen. I don't know how else to put it. It's extremely experiential, and it's extremely Christian. It's a correction to Christianity where we got it wrong. It's therapeutic. You heal yourself with your own mind. You love one another because you are one. And for me to hate another, I hate myself, and it hurts. And they say I can talk underwater. I can also talk for hours, but I won't. One of the precepts of the Course in Miracles is a universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but is mandatory. And that's what we're doing right here today, is a universal experience of all the people and all the religions, and you don't have to belong to a church or anything. You are your own path. I would like to read my definition of A Course in Miracles that I wrote, so I get to read it. That's not plagiarism. Okay. A Course in Miracles, to me now, is one of the kindest, most loving, deeply moving, profound, powerful, and peaceful blessings available to the people of the world. This can apply to whatever you're in right now. The text, the workbook, and the manual for teachers challenge, guide, and remind us to experience our relationships a different way, a kinder, more accepting way. Thus, the miracle is a shift in your mind, and you shift from fear to love, from turmoil to peace, from sickness to health, from weakness to strength, and darkness to light. There's a little prayer in the beginning of the Course that I think suits this occasion perfectly. And again, if you would close your eyes, as Steve said, and take this prayer in personally, then I think you might see what the day is all about. I am here to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, for He who sent me will direct me. I will go where He sends me, knowing He goes with me, and I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. That's early on in the Course. It's a beautiful prayer, and you don't have to be in a Course in Miracles to use it. I'm going to add a little prayer right now of my own. It was a Valentine's poem, which I just changed this moment to suit the occasion. And maybe if you're not in a loving mood, or if you're upset over something that's happened in the last week, this little lighthearted child's prayer might appeal to you. I hid love in little pockets in my mind so I could reach in at this very time and find you there where I knew you'd be, and thank you for being here with me. And did everybody get a green folder? Did everybody get that? Because if you didn't, I'm going to read it, and I'm going to tell those who got it. If you would share them. If you don't have one, if you want one, just call me, and I'll have little gnomes that are sitting out in the audience, little elves that come to my house. We'll get one to you. Okay, this is for this occasion. It's a day of prayer and thanksgiving. It says, one people, one love, one world. And I wrote it after Jean called me the other day. We are in truth all one people. Know this now. We are in truth all one love. Know this now. We are in truth everything that cries for peace, that weeps for loss, that cringes when our world burns or trembles or floods. We are outraged by senseless killings, reckless acts of brutality, the rape of others, and of the land which we hold dear for its beauty and bounty. We are in truth all one people. Know this now. Division divides us into small, limited, self-serving units of greed, breeds discontent, avarice, grasping behavior, lasting wars. Seeds a self-same future, leads to more bloodshed, pollution, destruction, starvation, retribution. Love joins us together. Love looks for sameness, for common bonds. Love overlooks differences, searches for small ways to come together. Love is colorblind and soundproof. It welcomes all people and their ways into its innermost chambers of tenderness, compassion, peace, and joy. Love is the glue that binds us together. Love binds our wounds. Love binds us back to our source, which is love. Love leads us to love. We are in truth all one love. Know this now. In this coming together today, let us join in an inner conviction and an outer commitment to better serve our community and the world beyond volunteering time and service by carefully watching our choices. When we feel hate, let us choose love. When we feel fear, let us choose love. When we feel anger, resentment, self-pity, selfishness, sorrow, loss, or limitation, let us choose love. Let us look at these divisive emotions with a greater empathy and higher vision, knowing the choices in our minds affect all of humanity, and let us, in pregnant yet poignant poise, enter the peace and love of the heart of God. Such is forgiveness. The forgiving of ourselves for those emotions that do not serve us or our brothers well, the active choice of joining together with the peace and power present in our minds, waiting patiently to be chosen. For when we choose love, we, like St. Francis, say, Lord, let me be an instrument of your peace. We are in truth all one people. Let us be love. Let us love. I thank you.
Thank you, Shirley. And now I'd like to introduce the Reverend Richard Shum of St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Bluebird Canyon.
That's good. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out. It's a joy to be here. We have an awful lot of people who are hurting in Laguna Beach. The reason they're hurting is because 366 homes were lost, and we need to help them and love them. Anytime the Bible talks about the church, the Bible is talking not about a building, it's talking about people. We in Bluebird Canyon don't have a singed bit of grass. The firemen took their stand, and Bluebird Canyon was salvaged, saved. And we're very blessed. Our facilities are there, but the church is hurting. We lost homes. We lost everything because some of our people lost everything. Therefore, first of all, I want to congratulate the Presbyterian Church, Jerry, and the church. They were so quick in getting aid out and helping people. That's remarkable. Congratulations to the firemen, the police. They were superior. And all those that came and helped so quickly, thank you. It was really wonderful. But as hurting people, we need to, or as people who aren't as hurting, we need to be doing things. We established also a center up at Bluebird Canyon where the people who have been victims of the fire can come and receive clothing and food, and also a gift of some money from our church and people from around the country who are helping. We are particularly grateful for Concordia University over in Irvine. Those kids had flyers out to everybody in that community before the fire was out. They said, we'll be by the next day and we're going to get these things that we're asking for. And unbelievably, it's remarkable.
Well, God, for our people that are hurting, God be with you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Shum. Now I'd like to introduce Greg Smith, a member of the Buddhist Order of Interbeing, founded by Thich Nhat Hanh during the Vietnam War.
The Buddha taught us to pay attention to our breath as a means of bringing the mind back into the present moment and keeping it there. Conscious breathing is the most readily available means to give our mind an anchor against the wind and waves of emotion, of a feeling, of thoughts that would take it away from awareness of what's going on. So please relax and enjoy your breathing with me. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. You know, the present moment is the only thing that lasts forever. It is truly timeless. Now, as we're gathered here, there is no Laguna Beach fire out there. The Black Hills are cold. There's nothing immediately threatening us. But we are all wounded, and we can start healing right now. Let us begin. Keeping the breath in mind, looking deeply, we see that we are all wounded in varying degrees. Some of us are wounded in our bodies because we hurt ourselves fighting the fire or fleeing from the fires. Others of us, many more of us, are wounded where we were attached to property that we lost. Many of us are wounded where we were attached to the way things were. Many of us, some of us, are wounded because there's a lingering fear from what happened in the past. And all of us are wounded where we are connected to the community. And we are all interconnected and interrelated in subtle ways. We can start healing right now. Keeping the breath in mind, dwelling in the present moment, we begin to heal these wounds. For our own wounds, we can practice letting go. We can practice relaxing our grasp on things that were lost, on impermanent things. We can remind ourselves of what is solid by stopping many times a day, breathing and saying, I take refuge in the moment. For healing the wounds of our neighbors, which are also our wounds, we can begin here and now planting the seeds of recovery. We can extend loving kindness to them now. May our neighbors be happy. May our neighbors be peaceful. May our neighbors be free from suffering.
Thank you, Greg Smith. Now I'd like to introduce to you Howard Emerson, a member of West Eagle.
Hi. I'll try to make this brief because I know that after an hour the crowd begins to drift. I have a really good feeling to be included in a thing like this and to be with such distinguished company as I find myself with. And I just wanted to say that we've had a lot of attention focused on our little town. My beginnings in Laguna go back to the 40s. And I haven't lived here all that long, but I've lived here as I speak quite a few years. This is the route that I ran for the last 20 years. I'm pretty connected to this little town. And I'll probably hang up my hat here when it's all over because it doesn't look like I'm leaving it right away. So I'm very affected by everything that goes on. And I was in Dr. Terry's church a while back when they had an AIDS awareness talk. And we get all this attention from the public focused on us. We've made a record as far as AIDS is concerned. We have the highest per capita number of cases in the world. And although we're not especially thrilled by having them all come over on our side of the fence for these kind of reasons, the point that I want to make is that there's a lot of attention being focused on us and how we're handling our disasters. And when they finally let me come back to my house after the fire, I guess the media had made such a splash about how burned up we were that a lot of people that I knew thought we were burned to the ground. So I was on the phone almost for the next 2.5 days trying to explain to people that we were still here and most of us were okay. And it was hard to talk on the phone because there were so many helicopters coming and going, coming and going. This was the command post. And I thought about that, and I thought that I'd never been up in a helicopter, but if I was, I'd probably get an entirely different view of what I was looking down upon. And so I feel my own comprehension of why me and why us when these kind of things happen. When I can back off and take a different view from the bridge of what I'm looking at, it isn't what looks terrible going in always is really good coming out. For instance, I'm thinking by the same token that I'm not somebody in this hot stuff lineup here, but I am a person and I am a human being and I have a heart and it's a good heart. And I know that, and that's why I'm connected with these Eagle people and Thomas One Wolf. Thomas One Wolf, if I might quote him, said to me recently that I was distressed about something that was bugging me. And he said the biggest mistake we make is to think that we're running the show. Grandfather is really running the show and he doesn't make any mistakes. And I buy that. I agree with that. And the thing that I feel most strongly about with all this happening is all the beautiful people that you see. If you turned on your television for even 5 minutes, everybody was helping everybody, and it had nothing to do with age, denomination, ritual, creed, person, being, or anything. It was just people who saw a need and pitched in. And that's what this is all about in my eyes, and I feel very privileged to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. And now I'd like to introduce to you once again Thomas Onewolf.
I didn't make any notes. I had a feeling you might say what I had in my heart, and the truth has been spoken here. What I would like and ask that would only maybe take a moment is that maybe each of you would raise your right hand and point this way, over here, and let us send this very love that I witness here to the people of Malibu and other places too. And this is as it should be. Oh. I don't get to visit the communities very much, but it is a good day. And because my people at home in New Mexico and Arizona have heard about your way here and the message of the Mother, they have asked me to bring to you from the land of the Hopi their prayers. From the land of the Taos, the Consiki sends his prayers. We don't know how to pray for what that is you might think you need, but we pray for each of you that you become one with the Mother, the Great Spirit, and each the other. When I see the many religions, as you call yourselves, come together as one, then it is that time that I like to say, oh, but don't all of us have two legs? And are we not our relations with the four-legged and the winged, the plant people and the standing ones? These are not Thomas Onewolf's words. These are the words of the old ones that have kept the Mother in a good way. And you have brought the message of Spirit from many lands and many places. The old ones have taught me to believe you, for you speak the truth. We just call him a different name. It is a good way that you come together when you are hurting. When the Mother brings you a message, you listen. The Hopi have sent word for you now. When you see the next bird, or the next four-legged, or you greet a brother or sister of the two-legged, know that she is watching. Whatever your path, I see you as good. That was spoken by the medicine man of the Hopi. I echo his words because I do indeed see you as good. From my own tribe, I would say but one thing to all that have come, that I love you. Now that makes me feel good. Aho, matakwiyasa.
Thank you, Thomas. And I want to thank all the speakers who've come to share with us and to share their wisdom and their goodness with us today. And I want to thank all the people who've come down to participate in this gathering. And now it's time for us to have lunch. So thank you for coming, and go out into the community now with this love that we've shared and share it with everyone. Thank you.
Our disciples have made a lot of spring rolls, Vietnamese style, so please help yourself. Everybody can have 3, 4, 5, free of charge, yeah? 3, 4, 5, 6 spring rolls. We made enough for everybody. Please help yourself, yeah? Go and find the food. Anything you find, you eat. Except the grass, please. So thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your love. They need some food and drink now. Quick. Everybody, quick, come here. Here's the West Eagle. Oh, he's busy. Tom, you like them to drink?
What would you recommend?
This for you. And these are Vietnamese foods. Delicious and no calories. This food is prepared in Vietnamese, French, and American way. And calorie-less. So you don't worry to put some weight on. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think so.
Yes. Pretty cool, huh?
Thank
Yes.
you.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Louder, please. Louder. Rama, Krishna, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. You dance?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare.